B. A member of a public service commission may be removed from his manner provided in clause 1 or clause 3 of article 317. Article 317 is the next article. We'll get to that. Okay. A person who holds office as a member of a public service commission shall, on the expiration of his term of office, be ineligible for reappointment to that office. So another point you can write under Article 316. Under Article 316, when you studied about what? Appointment in terms of condition, we studied about 6 years. Firstly, one half of the members of the commission should have worked or should have held office for at least 10 years in the government of India or government of any state. Secondly, what? Term. 6-year term or 65 years of age for UPSC, and 6-year term and 62 years of age for who? For State Public Service Commission and Joint Public Service Commission. Thirdly, resignation given to whom? Fourthly, we are studying about the fact that there is no reappointment. There is no reappointment. Okay. Now, let's look at Article 317, which talks about removal and suspension of a member of a public service commission. Okay, removal and suspension of public service commission members. Clause 1. Subject to the provisions of Clause 3, the chairman or any other member of a public service commission shall only be removed from his office by order of the President on the grounds of misbehavior, after the Supreme Court, on reference being made to it by the President, has on inquiry held in accordance with the procedure prescribed in that behalf under Article 145, reported that the chairman or such members as the case may be ought on any such ground to be removed. Article 317 clause 1 therefore says that who removes a member? Who removes a member? The President removes member. Okay, and a member also includes chair member. Okay, chairperson. Member of, be it UPSC. Okay, member of UPSC. Okay, shall only be removed from his office by an order of the President. On what grounds? On grounds of misbehavior. On grounds of misbehavior. Okay, on grounds of misbehavior. Who removes presidential order? Only a president can remove a member of the UPSC. On what grounds? On grounds of misbehavior. Now, misbehavior as a concept is subjective. Right? What is a misbehavior? Anything can be a misbehavior, but it should be proved. So therefore, and this is a constitutional functionary, right? The UPSC is a constitutional functionary. So therefore, who will investigate this grounds of misbehavior? It is the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will investigate this grounds of misbehavior. So therefore, the Supreme Court will, we have written here, on inquiry. On inquiry. So the Supreme Court will inquire. Okay, will inquire on a reference made to it by the President. So what the President does is, there will be, let's say, a case of misbehavior. Let's say UPSC member, whatever the name, person A, person X, okay, person X, right, part of the service commission, fine. Misbehavior can be anything, right, can be anything. For example, leaking the question paper to his relative, to his or a relative, or drinking and driving and has accidentally run over somebody. Okay, these are all misbehaviors. So it has come to light. Okay, then the President, what does the President do? It will refer this case to whom? To the Supreme Court. Now, why does the President have to refer it to the Supreme Court? is because this member is a service commission member, is a commission member, and it's an independent constitutional body. So it is to make sure that the president, who usually does anything based on the advice of the council of ministers, is not removing somebody on political conditions if this person has not made any favorable decisions to the ruling government. So therefore, he or she, the president, has to refer it to the Supreme Court. That is why on reference made to it, it is Supreme Court by the president. Okay. And then the Supreme Court will hold an inquiry. The procedure of the inquiry is given in Article 145 that we'll study. Okay. Until then, there is an inquiry. Okay. The procedure of inquiry you do not know yet. We'll get there. Okay. There is an inquiry, and then there is a removal. Understood? Understood this? Okay. I understood. Right? Then